Do you ever feel like your life is stuck on a painful loop? No matter how hard you try to change, you keep running into the same bad luck, the same toxic relationships, or the same overwhelming feeling that something is deeply wrong. You might think the world is just against you, but it isn't. Lately, you might have started noticing strange little details. Maybe a specific number keeps popping up everywhere. Maybe you keep hearing a certain phrase right when you feel most lost, or someone you haven't spoken to in years suddenly reaches out. Most people ignore these moments. They just call them random coincidences. The famous psychologist Carl Jung saw it completely differently. He believed these moments are loud, desperate warnings from your own mind. Your true self is trying to wake you up before the darkest, most hidden parts of your personality, your repressed anger, fears, and regrets, completely destroy the life you are trying to build. There is a reason this specific video found you today. It is not an algorithm. Your reality is cracking, pushing you into a brutal phase known as the dark night of the soul. If you have been begging for a sign to explain what is happening to you, you just got it. But the truth about why your life is falling apart right now is much harder to face than you think. To understand why your life feels like a series of disjointed events, or why you're suddenly being haunted by these meaningful coincidences, we have to look at the architecture of your mind. Most of us operate under the delusion that we are the masters of our own house. We wake up, make a cup of coffee, go to work, and believe that our conscious I, the ego, is making every decision. But Carl Jung suggests that the ego is merely a tiny cork bobbing on a vast, turbulent ocean called the collective unconscious. This ocean isn't empty. It is populated by ancient archetypes and, more importantly, by the shadow, the repository of everything you have rejected, suppressed, or feared about yourself since childhood. When you ignore these internal forces, they don't just vanish, they ferment, they grow heavy, and eventually, they begin to project themselves onto your external reality. This is what Jung meant when he said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Think about the cycles you can't seem to break, the toxic relationship patterns that repeat with different faces, the bad luck that seems to strike every time you're about to make a significant change. To the untrained eye, these are just unfortunate streaks of randomness. But to Jung, this is psychic entropy. Your internal world is so out of alignment with your external actions that the pressure is starting to crack the glass of your reality. You feel stuck, not because the world is against you, but because your soul is staging a coup against your ego. The dark night of the soul isn't a clinical depression or a temporary rough patch. It is a structural collapse. It happens when the story you've been telling yourself about who you are, the career, the social status, the good person persona, no longer holds enough weight to balance the vastness of the unconscious. You are being forced into what Jung calls the individuation process, the brutal, often painful journey of becoming who you were actually meant to be, rather than who society told you to be. But here is where the signs come in. Most people see a synchronicity, a repeating number, a chance meeting, a perfectly timed message, and they think it's a warm hug from the universe telling them they're doing a great job. They think it's a cosmic like button. They couldn't be more wrong. In the Jungian sense, a synchronicity is not a comfort. It is a warning. It is a fracture in the wall of your objective reality. If you are seeing these signs, it's not because you are on the right path. It's because your current path is so fundamentally wrong for your soul that the universe has to break the laws of probability just to get your attention. These signs aren't here to guide you toward your goals. They are here to destroy the person you currently believe yourself to be. This is where the mask starts to melt. Jung called it the persona, the social armor you wear to convince the world and yourself that you're fine. But the shadow doesn't care about your reputation. It's the hidden twin living in the basement of your psyche, and it's tired of being locked away. When you see a synchronicity, it's the shadow knocking on the floorboards. It's not a greeting, it's an eviction notice. You think your problem is your boss, your ex, or your bank account. It isn't. Your problem is that you've outsourced your soul to a script written by people who don't even know you. Every time you swallow your anger to keep the peace, or bury your true ambition because it's unrealistic, you're feeding the monster in the basement. And eventually, that monster gets big enough to start hijacking your life. It sabotages your interviews. It picks fights with the people you love. It creates the very bad luck you complain about. This is the mechanics of the dark night. Your ego is losing its grip, and the unconscious is moving in to take what belongs to it. The first step of Jung's brutal roadmap isn't positive thinking. It's moral confrontation. You have to look at the parts of yourself you find most disgusting, the jealousy you hide behind a supportive smile, the cowardice you call patience, the arrogance you mask with modesty. Jung famously said, "I'd rather be whole than good." Why? Because a good person is often just a dangerous person in denial. A whole person, however, knows exactly what they are capable of and chooses to act with intent. If you want the synchronicities to stop being warnings and start being guides, you have to stop lying about your own darkness. But how do you find it when you've spent a lifetime hiding it from yourself? You look at your triggers. That person who irritates you for no reason, that's your shadow looking back at you in a mirror. That recurring dream of being chased, that's the potential you've abandoned, trying to catch up. Most people run faster. Jung suggests you stop, turn around, and ask the monster what it wants. This is the moment of radical honesty. It's the point where you realize that the signs you've been seeing aren't pointing to a new job or a new partner. They are pointing directly at the hole in your soul you've been trying to fill with distractions. This is the death of the ego. It feels like your world is ending because, for all intents and purposes, it is. The version of you that functioned in that toxic environment or that shallow social circle has to die so the self can be born. This is why the signs feel so violent. They are the wrecking ball hitting a house built on sand. But here's the secret most people miss. The wrecking ball is the only thing that proves there's something solid worth building on underneath. If you feel like you're losing everything, you might finally be in a position to gain yourself, but there is a final, terrifying stage to this process. A threshold where most people turn back and retreat into the safety of their old, broken lives. To cross it, you have to understand the difference between who you think you are and what you actually are. And that distinction is found in the one place you've been told never to look. That final, terrifying stage, the threshold where most people turn back, is the realization that there is no external universe. The place you've been told never to look is at the bridge itself. The terrifying truth that your internal state and the external world are not two separate things, but a single, continuous fabric. This is the unus mundus, the one world. When you reach this level of awareness, the synchronicities change. They stop being a wrecking ball and start being a symphony. You realize that the universe hasn't been happening to you. It has been happening through you. The person you thought you were, that fragile ego trying to control the tides, has finally died. In its place, the self emerges. This is the archetype of wholeness, the center of your entire being that encompasses both your brightest light and your darkest shadow. To cross this threshold, you must stop asking what the signs mean and start asking who is looking at them. You are the observer and the observed. You are the dreamer and the dream. The reason this video found you today is that your soul has finally reached a state of critical mass. The pressure of your suppressed potential has become so great that it has warped the gravity of your reality, pulling this specific information into your orbit to act as a catalyst. This is the end of your dark night. The collapse of your old life wasn't a tragedy, it was a clearing of the land. You have faced the monster in the basement and realized it was simply the guardian of your own power. By integrating your shadow, you are no longer a victim of fate. You have reclaimed the energy you used to spend on repression and turned it into the fuel for creation. The invisible threads Jung spoke of are now in your hands. You are no longer blind to the connections. You are the one weaving them. This is the true meaning of individuation. It is the moment you stop being a character in a story written by others and become the author of the reality you inhabit. The meaningful coincidences will continue, but they will no longer be warnings of a house on fire. They will be the echoes of your own voice, confirming that you are finally, for the first time in your life, truly awake. You are not a cork bobbing on the ocean. You are the ocean, contained within a single drop, finally recognizing the power of your own tides. But being awake is not a destination. It is a constant discipline. The gravity of your old world, the expectations of the collective, the seductive comfort of the mask, will inevitably try to pull you back into the sleep of the ego. To maintain this clarity, and to continue navigating the uncharted territories of your psyche, you need more than a single moment of realization. You need a consistent cartography for the soul. This channel serves as that map, a space dedicated to dissecting the archetypal forces that still lie dormant, and ensuring that as you weave these invisible threads, your hand remains steady. If you are ready to move beyond mere recognition and begin the actual architecture of your new reality, ensure this transmission is not your last. By choosing to stay connected to this frequency, you are committing to the most difficult and rewarding work a human can undertake. We will continue to descend into the depths together, no longer as victims of fate, but as the conscious architects of the self. If this message shattered the illusions of your ego, hit the like button to anchor this realization and subscribe to keep your map through the dark. Finally, go down to the comments and type this exact sentence to seal your commitment to the journey. I am ready to face my shadow.